Deputy, welcome to Radio Biafra USA.
Thank you, Mazi Oluze.
Alozi, no problem.
Alozi.
Yes.
Yeah.
No problem. Welcome to our
Thank you.
program.
Thank you. I'm glad
Yes.
to be your host, to be your guest today.
Yes, Capo Daniel, I was very happy to have you here, and let our Biafrans, let our Lua people, let people of Middle Belt join us and listen. As I was saying on this broadcast, the way they are cutting us, slicing us like cakes, it's a broad venture by Britain. And then they conspired like the United Nations. There was a part I said, I don't know if you listened to it, about Antonio Guterres sanctioning, baptizing, confirming the introduction of terrorists into the Nigerian army. You see how they are killing us.
Oh, it's a very sad situation, my brother. And the whole issue is the United Nations have been a facilitator for the most part in all these things that have been happening across Africa, the continent. Not only in Biafra and Bazonia, you also have in Tigray region, you have in Somaliland and many other places, Sahel. Across the territory of Africa, you have had the United Nations facilitating arrangement that violates the indigenous people's right of Africans to draw borders that do not reflect the will and aspiration of the people. And in the case of Biafra, we have a common history. The international borders of the eastern state of Nigeria, in quote, included we were jointly administered, even though the British Southern Cameroons, which is we call Ambazonia today, was a separate special status area that was self-governed, but we were governed together with Biafra, which was then the eastern region of Nigeria. In Onugu, we shared legislature. We have members of our territory that were parliamentarians in that legislature. They made laws and were jointly governed. But before then, even before the coming of the white man and the drawing of the territorial boundaries of Biafra used to be part of the Oro Ochok Confederacy that used to exist before the coming of the white man. And that territory, that confederacy included the southern part, the coastal region of Ambazonia. You find that if you go there, you find the people sharing a lot of similar name with the Igbo people. You have the Bini there, you have the dressing is the same, the culture is the same. And we are one people. And even though the international borders, what I want your audience to know is that the war order that was set up in the Berlin Conference does not recognize the borders we had in Africa before the coming of the white man. So the present day Biafra will just be the legal boundaries of the eastern region, the eastern states of Nigeria, in quote. That will be the defined border of Biafra. That is the land of Biafra. And the amalgamation that the British people did was a violation of the people's right, because if you go down the line, you find the treaty that British signed with the Soviet Union and the Americans, the Anglo-Soviet Treaty that established the right of indigenous people, acknowledged that boundaries cannot be made or extended against the aspiration of a people and without their explicit consent. So British government could not come and amalgamate people that do not have similar history of legislature. You go and join them and you cut this one, you have the Eastern Belt, now you guys call it the Eastern Belt. I don't know why you guys keep on maintaining those nomenclature of colonialism. You should call them Biafra. You should focus on your nationalism. They are Biafrans. Biafra is not something that you made it up. The independence of Biafra had been declared by Chukwu. It cannot be reversed. So people are not born Biafra because they choose to. And today you cannot be asking people to choose, are you Biafra or not? Somebody will say, I see in social media, some Biafran people will say, no, I'm Igbo. Another one will say, I'm Biafra. No. Nationality is not something you choose. You are Biafra by nationality, whether you like it or not. Whether you support independence, self-determination or not, a Biafran is a Biafran. If you don't know, when you find yourself in the middle of Fulani people, they will remind you who you are, my brother. They will remind you who you are.
Yeah. You see, the thing there is that our people forget very quickly. And when I say we forget quickly, see, why are they particular about Biafra coastal areas? And if you look at the map, it started dawning on me that Cameroon has a common boundary with Nigeria, which they go to and fro. And whenever they do something, they do it from the northern part of Cameroon. And then when they come to the south, they unleash their crime against us. And who are these people? And you see that they from the north are also Fulani. You know? And it bothers me. And then you come to have them dictating what is happening in Nigeria. And then they will come and tell us what to do in our own land. They say we are not Biafra. And then they keep dissecting us, cutting us up. My brother, this must stop.
Yeah,
this is why
it is an attempt to destroy your history. The white people did that before. There were many established states in Africa before the coming of the white man. When they came, the first thing they do is to kill your leaders. The next thing, they change your name. Before you realize, they come and they start creating new reality, new educational system for your children. It worked for the white man, but the Fulani people cannot do that and succeed with the Biafrans of these days. We have seen Biafran people going back to their history, learning their history. The same thing with Ambazonians. They are embracing their nationality, and they have lived in abroad. Most of them, for the most part, knows they are right. They know something is wrong when you are in a country and the whole political system is building industrial estate in the Fulani area where they don't produce anything. They know something is wrong when they see billions and billions being drilled out of Biafran wells and no money is being invested back in their country proportionately. So they know when they see their leaders, they have to bow down before Fulani men. They know from the structure, the political framework in Nigeria that maintains power and military might in the hands of Fulani people. So the Biafrans know their history. And I think Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a God-sent savior who have come at the right time, because the confusion in the mind of the Biafran people due to the educational system imposed on them by the British and the Nigerians have let a lot of them be confused. They don't know what is right, what is wrong. But you have a leader for once in the history of the Biafran people who have brought everybody together for one mission, to free Biafra. Over his dead body, dead or alive, Biafra must be free. And the Biafran people must grab this opportunity. It's one in a lifetime. You know how strong-headed our people are. You know how Biafran people are. They are very, very tough people to deal with. So you have a golden opportunity now where the Biafran have risen up. It should never fall. It should fall no more. And I hope the leadership in place will be capable to come together for the common good of the Biafran people, to be effective in liberating Biafra, because Africa will not be free if Biafra is enslaved. Ambazonians' freedom is tied with the Biafran freedom. Freedom in one African territory is freedom for all African territory. Our forefathers like Kwame Nkrumah knew it, and he declared on the independence of Ghana that the independence of Ghana will be useless without the independence of other African countries. That is why the leadership of the Ambazonian Governing Council and the indigenous people of Biafra, they came together and they saw that vision and they said, let us tie our future together. The freedom for one is the freedom of another. We will not walk the line of being afraid of those abstract fear that the colonial master have put in us. That, oh, don't yoke with your brothers, don't walk with your brothers. But we have realized that that was a mistake. We have come together to work and see how we can inspire and share experience, motivate each other, comfort each other, because we face a common enemy. Cameroon was key to the destruction of Biafra. It is the enemy of Biafra. Nigeria is key to keep Ambazonia at bay. So we have come together to say never again shall we accept subjugation. We will not wait until our independence is established, but we shall start uprooting all the root that the Fulani headsmen have planted within our community. Uproot them now for our children to be free from subjugation.
Yes, you see, the other aspect of the issue is that it's just coming up, and I was looking at it today. The role Kenya is playing in the destabilization of African countries. It's a pro-British doctrine. One of their ministers during the United Nations even shamelessly acknowledged the principles of Britain, and will be proud to continue the British doctrine into this world where every country is trying to keep their identity. And not only that, you see the political link between Nigeria and Cameroon, Nigeria and Kenya is beginning to be exposed, like the accusation they are making about money laundering. Then that tells you the hand of Britain is still there. The hand of Britain is still there. These people don't want to go away. And let me ask you, you see what they are doing to Biafrans. You are Anglo. They are more and should more likely support you than Cameroon. But they are not doing that. They keep their eyes the other way. They keep looking the other way and watch whatever they call them, slaughter the Ambazonians. Britain is not talking. The same procedure that Britain is taking, arm the Fulanis to slaughter Biafrans, and they're looking the other way. They are not talking. Do you see the similarities?
Oh, yes. But that is the problem we have had with our reliance on these superpowers. We think that the British people will help us. We think that you have, in East Africa, you have relative political freedom there because the British people, they wanted to use that area for their citizens to come back and relax in the safari. So they have given them some degree of freedom that we don't enjoy as former British colony in the West Africa coast. So those countries, they have some few political freedom, but their military is strong under the grip of the military empire in England. Nevertheless, for us to be free, the Biafrans and the Ambazonians have to know that it will come from us. We must stop to expect recognition. We should work hard to accomplish it on the ground before recognition will come. Nobody have been freed by counting on those who oppress you. Those who benefit from this subjugation of the Biafran people and Ambazonian people will never give us freedom unless we convince them, because the war politics today is about interest. We have to convince them that it is in their interest to deal with us and do business with us rather than doing it with Nigeria. We must take away the leverage Nigeria and Cameroon have, because right now Nigeria is a guarantor of business with Biafran Petrol. Cameroon is the same. We have to be able to destroy and cut the hands of Nigeria and Cameroon out of our resources and let the whole Gulf of Guinea go on flame. So if the world wants to do business with our oil, they will come through us. We will make sure that Nigeria and Cameroon can no longer guarantee or do business with our oil. That is the only way we can be free. If we think one day the British will convince the British to abandon Nigeria by simply talking and picking on their moral conscience, it will never happen. Southern Sudan did not have her independence because she was talking to the British or appealing to any moral conscience to anybody. East Timor did not have independence because they were appealing for the moral conscience of anybody. Even the people in Bongaville who recently have their referendum for independence. They did not have it because they were appealing to the conscience of the new Papua Guinea or the Australians. No, they fought hard. And they targeted all Australian investment in Bongaville. They say you will not export from Bongaville unless we are free people. And we in Biafra and in Ambazonia, we have been so righteous than Jesus Christ that every day I go to Nigerian church, they are praying, I send thunder to thunder. Let my enemies die. But you go back to Nigeria, you are partying with your enemies. Do you think the devil you are praying against in church is bigger than Buhari? Is bigger than Nigeria? No. The principalities and the wickedness of this earth is the Fulani herdsmen that butchers people in church, that would prefer to kill 1,000 Biafrans for their cattle to rear in Biafra lands. It is the Paul Biya and his military machine that have burned over 700 villages in Ambazonia, killing over 30,000 innocent children. Those are the principalities and the wickedness of this earth. We should focus our prayer in our heart, and the fire back to fire, the thunder back to thunder should be on ground zero in the streets of Biafra and in the street of Ambazonia if we want freedom. Freedom is by power, by force. We must take it. Nobody will give it to us.
The thing you mentioned there is very interesting about the resources. We give them the privilege to use our resources against us. We are the owners of these resources, and we have our politicians. These politicians are so evil. They don't even speak. They can't open their mouth. And I was proud of one of the Ambazonians who said, well, I can't go on with this. You can't be killing my people and you're here telling me to come and vote and do this. I'm not going to do it. How many of those kind of politicians do you have from Ambazonia? And we in Biafra land, we don't have them. They're all key to using the money being given to them from Abuja to suppress the people and calling the people miscreants. And that's why I told them today, assume that name miscreant and prove to them that being a miscreant, you can equally reason. So what do you have such a situation in Ambazonia?
Oh yeah, we used to have political participation. We have the use of electoral ballots to legitimize the continual imposition of Cameroon will of our people. But we soon have realized that election back in Africa is fake, is not valid, is just used to legitimize what they are doing and blindfold the international communities. So 5 years ago, we had banned all Cameroon elections in our territory. They have tried and they have failed. They have not had an election within Ambazonian territory. I mean, at least 90% of our territory have not voted a single ballot in Cameroon election. We have stopped them physically on the ground from doing so. So we have delegitimized them, and we have declared wanted every senator or any parliamentarian that is being appointed by Mr. Pobia in our territory. They are all people of exile. They cannot step foot on our land. Recently, one of the top senators who was appointed by Mr. Pobia came to our land, and she was there with military people. She's under arrest. She had been put through our military tribunal. She has been tried for high treason and sentenced to death, because the gravity of allowing and legitimizing the killing of your own people, the subjugation of your own people, is a grave crime that we cannot tolerate. You can remember the French people did the same. Every people to be free must deal with eternal enemies as well as external enemies alike. Our people are too religious and too righteous to afford. And we have to realize that the people who are killing our people, who are legitimizing and giving the power to the Fulanis, even in Biafra to kill, are the elders, are the Igwes. That's why they will always tell you, go back and listen to your elders, because they know that these people will not lead you anywhere. They are part of the system. They have been corrupted. The people who are going to free Biafra are going to be the youth. They are not going to be PhD holder. They are not going to be Igwe. They are going to be people like General Okoso, who stood up and called himself a general. The ones who have gone to school and study under the British system, they will not save you because they have become part of that system. You must turn to your youth, and the youth must be empowered by the leadership that be in place today to do the right thing and take up the mantle and free themselves. Don't listen to people who are going to act like the house nigger, like the slave master's lame dog, whose job is to come back into the forest and tell the plantation workers, just keep on doing your job. They are going to give you a little bit freedom here and there, but you will remain a slave for the rest of your life. So we don't want that for our people. We love them enough not to want to see Biafra and Ambazonia be in the next 10 years as subjects of hegemonies. So we must do what it needs to be done pragmatically to free our people. We will not remain dreamers. We must do what we are capable of doing. And trust me, we are capable of doing it. We are capable of doing it.
Yeah, that's encouraging, and I hope our people are listening, and they are much aware of what's happening. And when Ambazonia issue came up initially, it's like, who are these people? Who are these people? Ambazonia again, who are they? And people never knew about Ambazonia. Until it started coming up, say, wait a minute, this used to be part of us, and all of a sudden Cameroon swallowed everybody up. And then to tell you how politically Nigeria is, how evil they are, they ceded Bakassi a few years ago to Cameroon because of the oil. And France is busy enjoying it.
Yeah, the mafia that exists is that our leaders have not done enough time to educate our people on legality of issues. Like I told you in the beginning of the program, when it comes to our territorial boundaries as defined by international law and recognized as international law, which will also be the declaration in line with the declaration of Ochukwu, the first president of Biafra, who declared the Eastern Region state as the Republic of Biafra. That state he declared was the state as recognized by the British Protectorate, because the Berlin Conference recognizes the boundaries as was given by the imperial powers. That is the war order that was the first war order. So the boundary of Biafra, if you go there, it's unfortunate. This is a very sad thing, my brother, I tell you the truth. Because you go to Bakassi, the people who are in Bakassi are Biafrans. But the land belonged to Ambazonia because the British signed a document with the Germans. They signed that document, I think it was in Lagos. So legally speaking, that land is in Biafra, is in Ambazonia, but the people are from Biafra. How do you balance that type of equation? And what they did with the ICJ is that the ICJ established this fact. And then now they tell the Cameroon and the Nigerian, they came into an agreement that they are going to remove everybody from Bakassi, relocate them into Nigeria, and then let it is the Cameroon military to come back into Bakassi. So we have said this is nonsense. We are all Africans and we are all black. You cannot relocate people from their villages. There is a middle way we can work out these things as patriots. There are many scenarios that have been discussed on how to resolve this issue, but we will not allow the white people to determine how we resolve such matters. Biafra and Ambazonia are allies. We are brothers. We will not relocate. I can guarantee you that the president of the governing council will not relocate Biafrans, and will not be knocking our head over land. We are there together to fight and free our homeland. We will sit together as brothers and sisters and look into our borders. Because if you look at the documents that was declared for Biafran independence, it did not include that region because legally it wasn't in their books. But we recognize that the people who are there, their heart is in Biafra. They identify themselves as Biafrans. And just because some imperialists draw the boundary line does not mean we are obligated to complicate the life of the people who live in that land. So we will respect the people who are there, will respect their rights, and their future is in Ambazonia and Biafra. Our two leaders have come together to bring the two nations together, to work together, not to work asunder. And that is how we are going to work, no matter our differences.
Do you envisage what a formidable zone we will have, Biafra and Ambazonia? Have you looked at it? How we are good? It will be fantastic. And this is what we must do.
Like an international city that have a special state. It can become like Hong Kong. It can have a special status where the people who are there, they enjoy even dual nationality. They call you fly from from Cross River, you arrive in Bakassi and you build house. It become the merger between Ambazonia and Biafra. It can become a splendid place, an example for the world to see. We can build our own Dubai. We are capable of doing that. But first, we must focus on what matters. Is that when there is a big snake in the house, you don't stop and you start talking about your differences with your brother, but you start planning on how do you get rid of this Fulani herdsmen and the Bulubeti clan that are ruling Cameroon. That is our priority.
Yes, it's very interesting because when we talk about the politicians, and you look at the way they are slicing up Biafra land. And not only that, they come to the communities and do the same. And you have the Igwes, the Ezes, and the thieves. I call them thieves. They are not chiefs. And you see the activities. And they tell you, because you put your finger on it, they say they know, but they are not up to date with the events happening. And then they use their media. They use the Nigerian media to lie. They don't even know what is happening. We stay here to tell them what is going on in Nigeria. Because no light, nothing, every infrastructure that will make man live comfortably doesn't exist in Biafra land. All over Biafra land. So they use the media to lie.
No, I don't think that they are lying. For me, what I think is that these Izes, these chiefs, these Igwes, they have become master of their trade. These are the people that dealt in slavery. They sell their own people during the slave times. They know that when there is uprising, when the population are angry, it is a bargaining chip for them to go and make money from these people that are killing their own people. They will go and sweet tongue and tell the masters that they are going to come back and calm down everybody. In that way, they will come back and they will give the money. So they speak with two mouths. They will come and speak. You think that they don't know what is going on. They know what is going on. But this is a never again generation. It's a generation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It's a generation of Ayabacho Lucas. It is a time for the people, the youth, to take the mantle. We have to take the mantle from them. Don't expect good wine to mix with old wine. Hello?
Yeah, we are back on it.
Sorry for the technical problem. So What I was saying, you don't put new wine in old wine cloth and expect to have something good come out of it. You have to pour the wine of Biafra in the new wine cloth so that you have the best of what you can have and you'll be effective. Like I said, Biafra will not be freed by the PhD holders, by the Izes, by the Igwes, by the chiefs. No, this will be the obstacles. Biafrans should listen. They should have to think out of the box. They have to look for people who are radical. This is a period of radicalization. They say there is a time for everything. There is a time to build. There is a time to destroy. There is a time to come together. There is a time to scatter. At a time like this in your history, the people you need are the radicals. The ones that do not adhere, they don't understand the language of the occupier. The one that do not understand the colonial language. That is the one you need. You will not even need people who speak in good English in the Queen's language to liberate yourself. You need people like General Okoso. You need people who believe in Biafran nationalism and who will not compromise. Because at the end of the day, you are dealing with Nigeria, a very wealthy country that have accumulated a lot of wealth to be capable of bribing people here and there. So many people will be coming dressing with cheap clothing, but they will be coming to take their own share and bargain. So you go for radicals and ask your youth to be radical. They should not be listening or tolerating anything Nigeria. They shouldn't. If they want to be free. If you want to be a slave for the next 10 years, you allow Nigerian flags to be flying all over Biafra. Your youth have to be radical so much that people will be afraid to get into buildings where you have Nigerian flag. In Ambazonia today, people are afraid to speak French. When you get into our territory, you know this is Ambazonia. You see on the street, they write that this is Ambazonia. So you have to make changes. You have to take approaches that are radical if you need freedom.
That's a very good advice, and people are listening. And we have a leader, Mazin Nandekano. They're trying to use him for political bargaining, and which is backfiring on them. They conspired with Kenya, and they thought once they arrest him, IPOB is done. And then they found out the hard way that IPOB is still there. Or once they arrest him, then the Fulanis will be able to reoccupy the forest. The DSN is still there, chasing them away. That's a formidable work done by our leader, Mazin Namdekano, and the DOS handling the issue. You see, when we look at these Fulanis, I keep bothering myself, why are they playing this role? They are nowhere around any of the countries. They have no territories, but all of a sudden they are trying to displace the indigenous people, and you see a big role being played by the United Nations. If they destabilize Nigeria, if they carve up Nigeria, then they will use our land and give to the Fulanis who they are sponsoring. And Ambazonia was quick enough to deal with that, and I think we are dealing with that ourselves. And,
you have to see the risk that you have with such scenario if you learn from the Rwanda example. Because the Fulani people have observed how the Biafrans have been undermined, their territory have been amalgamated and divided into different pieces, and they didn't do anything after the war ended. And now they have become emboldened. It's like a spoiled child. They think they can take more than they can eat. Even the British people are not 100% in support of what they are doing, but this is as a result of a spoiled child. And they want to take everything that you have. That's how it is in Africa. When they choose these clans, it happens in all African territory, like the Rwandan genocide. The Houthis were spoiled because they had the support of the French. They know that the power will never leave their hands. And one day they just feel that these other people are an inconvenience. They can just kill everybody. That is what is happening in Nigeria. The Fulanis have been given a lot of power, and now it's getting over their head. They think they can do what they want to do. And if you don't take it seriously, they will commit genocide, because they know nobody will hold them to account. Your future is in your own hand. You are dealing with people whose ego have become so puffed up that they don't know that you are human beings anymore. They just think they can take whatever they want from your land. They can kill your women, rape your women, burn down your villages, and nobody will do anything. Who are you going to report to? To Buhari? To the Queen of England? They'll tell you it's internal matter. So you have a visionary leader who saw these things and created the Eastern Security Network that have given birth to the rise for self-defense in Biafra. And what I would encourage you guys is that you always have division. We always have division and different groups coming here and there, but never should any group try to establish itself by bringing down another group. If somebody wants to do something different because he can't push his own agenda within another group, let him focus on what he's doing and not try to delegitimize the order. Then you will not have infighting. Then you have positive competition. But when you start to see people whose existence is to bring this other one down, that is where you start to find that the enemy will take advantage. You start fighting among yourself.
Yeah. We'll open the phone line for people to call in, and you're welcome to stay if you have time. But if you don't have time, at least they've listened to us for a prolonged time period, and then we'll open the phone lines for them to call in and ask some questions. The call number is +1 484 767 0848. +1 484 767 0848. Live broadcast from Radio Biafra USA. And we have a couple Daniel here with us from Amazonia, and you've listened to the exchange of ideas, where they stand and where we stand. We are doing our best, and we will continue to do our best. Amazonia and Biafra, the same and one. And they keep slicing us and keep slicing us and keep slicing us. And I don't know how far they will go. And we can't allow them to continuously do the same thing over and over again. So that's the way it is. The call number is +1 484 767 0848. Call on WhatsApp on the same line. You can call it on WhatsApp, 484 767 0848. So, Daniel, you see, our leaders are always the target. They're always what they go after. And when they go after our leaders, they think that will end the struggle, but it's not happening. And
oh yes, because they underestimate us. They think that we are still primitive people, where they can use the idea that you kill the head of the snake, the body will die. This time, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have created thousands of Mazi Nnamdi Kanus on the ground, and there is no way taking him out or removing him from the scene will kill the seed that is in the heart of the Biafran people, or arresting those of the Amazonian will take away their nationalism. Nationalism is a concept that is as real to people as their real names and their real identity are. The feeling of people being a Biafran is a spirit in their heart. It's something you cannot kill with guns. It's something you cannot kill by putting their leader in prison. If Nigeria was a wise country, they would have released Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and have a negotiation with him in order to negotiate Biafran's freedom in a way that would protect Nigeria's economic interests. But as we know, they say power corrupts, and it corrupts absolutely. They think by imprisoning him, they will kill the spirit of Biafra. But history have taught us that they are on the wrong side.
They are always on the wrong side. What perplexed me is the role of Britain with regard to the extraordinary renditioning of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a British citizen. And by all means, why are they not talking? Let's get this call and we'll continue. Yeah. It cut off, so let's continue. Okay. Caller, your name and where you're calling from?
Yes, I'm going to good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. I thank you, and I thank you, your guests, we appreciate you so much for the time to discuss with us. Now, I told this question to you first before I go to Nigeria. I had when Rodrigo amalgamated us as a one country. I don't know if you have any idea
Yeah, repeat that again. Repeat what you said. Your line is gone. Your line has dropped. Please call back. Your line has gone. Yeah, go ahead.